Hello, good morning world, good morning Philippines, and good morning to the Nordic countries and to Iceland. We have a coin here right now today, and this is from Iceland. And let's talk a little history about Iceland. And it's hard to have a coins from Iceland, as we all know. It's a tiny and separated island in the middle of the Nordic region. On the upper if you're facing Iceland, in the upper left there is Norway, and on the other side it's Sweden and Denmark, and also on the upper is Finland. Iceland pronounced as Iceland. uh, we have here three coins, but okay, we will review first. We have there 1984, the 5 Krónur. This is Finnish Abinak, and it's a dolphin. And, two dolphins here, and as you can see here, and this is a non-magnetic, and it's very beautiful. Next, another 5 Krónur, and it's thick. It says copper nickel, 1 million mintage. And lastly, we have a 10 Krónur, Capelin fish. It's like salmon, something like that. And there is a bull here, and eagle on here, a dragon on the top right, and there is a giant, the Landvættir, 10 Krónur, 2 Krónur. They pronounce it like that. And the history of Iceland, there is no Iceland back then. The island is present, but there is no humans or human activity on the island. So back on the year 1847 after dark AD, a first Norwegian who came to Iceland and founded Iceland is named Engolfur Arnarsson. And if you follow the Scandinavians, they have the same family name ending Arson, Narzon, Zon, and this nen, just like Drundern. Was that the racer? Mikkonen, yes, Mikkonen, from Sweden, I think. And back on the history, on the year 1847, Engolfur Arnarsson, he brings his what do you call this, serfs or thralls. These thralls is called slaves, and these slaves came from a Gaelic bloodlines. If you know what is Gaelic, these are the Irish from Ireland, because back then Irish and English never won a war against the Vikings. We all know that. They all know that. And they have a draw, but they never won a war against the Vikings. Vikings are very strong and very big. And back then, Irish are tiny people. And this is no a racial issue. It's about history, guys, okay? And this, if you don't know, Gaelic is a language of the Ireland, Irish. It's very hard to understand. I've been to Ireland. very very hard to understand the Gaelic language. And my name also came from a Gaelic name, Irish name. I will not tell you, by the way. It's a different pronunciation, but different words. My name starts from letter J, but pronounced as letter I. Same also in a Jewish, because they took their names from the Jewish Middle Ages. So back to the 13th century, the Iceland was founded, and also there is a union on 13th century, late 13th century, from 1396 or 1397. There is a kingdom, or United Kingdom of Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and this Iceland. So the king back then was Eric the 13th, and he's the sole king. But there is a civil unrest and civil war, because Eric the 13th is, I think, autocratic. I don't know. And Norway, shout out to Lev Chris, he knows this history, because he is from Norway. And the people are very very poor back then on the 13th century, on under Eric the 13th of Sweden, I think. Yes, Sweden. And people have no bread on their table, they cannot eat, and people are dying of starvation. They are very very hungry, and that is why they revolt, and they rebel against Eric the 13th, and he lost the crown. And next, I think, is the grandfather of Gustav of Sweden. Not the Gustav of the present, the Gustav, the grandfather, I think, from the 13th century, the grandfather of Gustav. Then until now they are Gustav, or yes, Gustav, yes, maybe Gustav. And the first country to separate from the United Kingdom of the Scandinavia is Iceland. And all the family name there are Narsson, Larsson, Carson, just like that. And same also, if you can found in the Ireland, the family name ends with the son. They came from the Scandinavian, or the Vikings. Then same also with all the double R and double S ending, and the entire world came from the Icelandic and the Scandinavia. And you can find their women, they have the red hairs, or yellow hairs. But the red hairs of the Irish ancestry, or the Gaelic, I found it more beautiful. No offense to the other countries. That's it. And they call it the Iceland is a very very cold country. Same with Norway as of now. Norway is a rocky, same with Sweden and the other Scandinavian country, a marble place. You can find soils, yes, you can find, but mostly the underground is a solid granite. Yes, granite. If you want to build a house, you have to use dynamites and bombs and so many equipments, because I've seen it on my own eyes. Norway is a very granite place. So that's the story of this. And their coins also, Krónur, and in Denmark also Krónur, and Norway is Krónur, but their coins is called Norwegian Krónur NOK. And here in Norway they call it Krónur also. So and they have these mythical creatures, this giant here, and this bull for offering, and their gods also, and this horse as a mighty warrior, and this eagle as their also their gods back then. And they have so many wars that sometimes lasted 100 years. They I think Sweden never won a war against Norway, I think. Yes, as far as I can remember. Sorry if I'm wrong, correct me. But I remember Sweden never won a war against Norway, and back then also Norway has so many tiny kingdoms and tiny places with their leaders and their kings. If you are strong, if you have so many families, you can build your own kingdom. Back then there is no legit or real king back then on the 10th, I think 903 century, 993 to 11th century. There is no legit what you call this king of Norway. That is why they invaded so many countries on the south. Poor Ireland, poor England back then, and poor France. They were raided by the Vikings because of the growing what they call families of their of the separated kingdoms of Norway. I think so many 10 12 kingdoms inside Norway back then. And there is one time they have a war of their own, and the greatest king, they came to war against each other, and I forgot who is the the victor or the winner back then. And they invaded and they declared war as a Vikings to the south. They plundered, they took everything, women, but they kill all the men so that their bloodlines will be pure. That is why if you go to Norway and United Kingdom, if you test their DNA, you can find it here on YouTube. 99% of them are from Scandinavia, or with Scandinavian bloodlines on their DNA. And that's it, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. Sorry for our Filipino and Tagalog viewers. I will go in English today because this is a foreign Cohen, and I have so many English speaking viewers also on this channel. That is why I have to. So thank you, and see you on the next videos. Bye bye.